Okay, well, we're ready to start putting the tent up. I've got some stakes. These aren't the normal stakes I would use. This will work for demonstration purposes. All right, this is Chris Nickel, and this is another episode of Operation American Road Trip. Today we're not traveling anywhere. We're just demoing out a new tent that I picked up for winter camping. It's a one Tigris hot tent called the Iron Wall, and we're giving it a try. I got a fire going, and we're going to show you how to set it up and how to get the fire going in my hot tent. Now you can see it's fairly roomy in there. I'd say it's enough for 2 people if they wanted to sleep in there with the stove. Okay, this is a stove I made 2 years ago. It's out of a 50 cal ammo can. It's pretty small, but for this size tent, I think it'll be good. It's got a vent on it, 2 vents, and I have a stovepipe with a damper that's just galvanized. That's been it's galvanized duct that's been burned before, and I've gotten all the galvanization off and all the smoke out of the paint previously. So all right, here's the stove in the tent, and I got a damper on the side that I've installed for a 3-inch piece of pipe going up through the stove jack. So this is my final configuration here. You can see that I've arranged the stovepipe to leave the tent at any being in close proximity to the opening. So we'll see how this works. Okay, I've got some basic kindling chopped up, and I've got some cedar juniper bark, which makes good tinder. and I'll be making a ball out of that. Chart cord, striker. Okay, so we got it going. Give it a little blow. Transfer it over. And there we go. Turn it upside down and get it going good. Using the pocket bellows, I'm getting it going. Keep adding small stuff to it. Okay, you can see hardly any smoke coming out of that top of that stovepipe. That's a really good burn. That's real, almost full combustion there. Real clean. And that's what you want. This tent this size, it doesn't take long to heat it up. What's the matter, Callie? Okay, it's going pretty good now, and I can really hear that paraffin fire starter going inside there. Gonna damp that stove down just a bit. When I do, it smokes just a little bit. I need to maybe do a little stove maintenance on this stove. So I used a little fire retardant blanket that I had. It's a welding mat, and I've kind of wrapped it behind the stovepipe to kind of create a little more of a heat shield. Okay, I added a little pot on here to boil some water. We'll see how long it takes to get my water going. Gonna add a little more heat in there. And when you're cooking, you need small kindling to keep the fire hot. Generate enough energy to boil water. So let's talk about this tent a little bit. This is a tent that's made by a company on the internet called Tigris. Their camping line is called Black Orca, and this is called the Tigris Iron Wall tent. It's a hot tent for winter camping. It comes with the stove jack opening, and you have to add the actual stove jack protector in there. And it's not very expensive. I think it's 16 bucks, and I'll probably end up ordering one factory one. I just made this one for trying it out today out of a baking mat, silicone baking mat, and it works pretty good. And I've added additional heat shielding with a piece of welding mat that I picked up somewhere, I think at Sears or Home Depot, I think it was. This is the Stanley coffee set that I picked up at Walmart. works pretty good. I've got a cup that comes with it, and this is a little coffee filter I got from MSR that you just drop in here and make your coffee. So when the water's boiling, I'm just going to do a pour over and make a good cup of coffee here in a second. This thing does get hot, and I like to use a stick. When I'm really trying to cook something, I'll just slightly crack the door open on it, and it gets it going pretty good, and make sure our damper's open. And just by doing that adjustment, I can hear the stove burning hotter now, which is what it takes to boil. So we'll give that a minute, and we'll come back and see what we got for coffee. So while we're waiting for that coffee, I was just going to talk about the channel a little bit. The Operation American Road Trip is a channel I started last year, I guess it was, and I was going to be doing camping and some road trips, traveling some of the national parks, and I also have been serving on the city council in Pueblo, Colorado, and my 2 terms were expiring. I'm now off city council, and so I'm having extra time now, and I'm getting more active in doing some trips and camping, and wanted to just start making content for this channel. So I think we have about 60 subscribers right now, and I'm hoping to get those numbers up. So I'll be putting more content out there. If you subscribed, I appreciate you hanging with me. While I was still doing city council, just didn't have a lot of time. So my plan is to have an active summer. I'm acquiring some gear to do some more hammock camping trips. This is a cold weather tent, so I'm planning to do a winter camp trip with this stove. I like to try things out in the backyard before I get out in the wild and try them. So this is my attempt at that, and so I'll be posting this up on the channel, and be on the lookout for more content coming. Pretty good. I think a pour over is the best way to make coffee. I do it in the house too. I don't really like coffee that's sitting on a burner, on like a Mr. Coffee. I just like to pour it over into a cup and make it a mug at a time. And I think that's the best way to make coffee. I do it when I'm camping now, and I do it every day as well.